All right, we are going live here on air here in just a second, but I wanted to pop in here quick and get us a little bit of time to populate and generate some viewers. Here we go. Southwest Michigan's 97.5 Y Country. I'm Matt Malone, and that was our Summer Jam alumni, Tyler Rich, and his song is called The Difference. We are having our conversation today, wrapping things up, and the conversation asks, what was your most difficult subject in school? And if you can, tell us why. What is it that made that subject so difficult for you? So to give you a couple more responses on our Facebook page, we have Gabby who says history. Yeah. History is not one that was, it depends on what kind of history. Like if it's super interesting and you can find a history teacher that can really make it real and instead of just like reading text on a book and help engage you, like that is a very special skill from the teacher standpoint here. On the other side of it, we have Jill who says math when it got to fractions or math when it got to fractions. I hate fractions. Yeah, I hate dividing. Dividing is not an easy thing for me to do by any means. It is, I can do like rough estimates and be like close enough. But if you need me to give you an exact division answer, that's more than, two numbers, I might have a hard time doing that for you. Lynn says math, specifically math sentences. If Susie is traveling 200 miles per hour and Dave is going 350 miles per hour, when will Jupiter align with Mars? Still don't know. Still don't care. That's good. I like that. It's actually 3 p.m. Lynn, if you didn't know, that's the answer. Just did that off the top of my head. You're welcome. Caleb also says algebra. So that's another one too. So good answers there. You can join the conversation here. We have Sue that says biochemistry on Facebook Live. She says, I just don't have a brain set up for it. Austin says English, hated writing and all the dang paperwork. Yeah, that is not easy. Here's the thing. Reading is really fun too. But I feel like when you get to high school, it's a little bit harder to do if you are somebody who is in, athletics or, doing all of these other different clubs and different groups. It makes it a lot harder to do that. I still am a firm believer that obviously reading is so, so, so important, but it does make it a little bit more difficult when you have all of these other extracurricular things around. So great answer. And for me, the reason why we came up with this conversation today, Zayden has a science presentation that he had to put together, and he did a great job with his experiment. We finally got it to work. And so it was really cool. And very proud of him for that too, by the way. He kept going. It was a little bit, knock the wind out of you when you have a few attempts that don't quite work, but he stuck at it and we got it done, and he's going to do an awesome job presenting today. So that said, if you have an answer like Kimmy, who's joining our conversation here too, and she says algebra, it was hard to remember all the rules. FOIL, first, outer, inner, last, right? Yeah, there's a lot of rules that comes to that for sure. So great answers there. Thank you so much. And we're going to keep the conversation going on Facebook Live. You can join too, 97.5 Y Country, Facebook and Instagram. All right. We have got, okay. So here's what I want to do. I don't know if Gina, I didn't tell Gina I was going to do this, but we just did this video yesterday. I want to share this with you here. Just a part of it from Zayden's project. So let's do this here. I got to set things up the right way so I can hear it. All right. Here we go. Oh, and of course, I don't have that screen activated yet. Here we go. This is called Instant Ice. We were able to make instant ice yesterday. So here you go. Look at that. Literally pouring water out onto an ice cube. It's so cold that it's able to actually form an ice tower. So there you go. Pretty cool. There's a science experiment for you. All right. What does this say here? That's amazing. It is. It was pretty amazing. It took us. You have to be slow, and you have to not like shake the water we found. You can't squeeze the bottle when you're trying to open it. Any kind of disruption like that could lead to it instantly freezing inside the bottle. So it's tricky, but it finally worked. It finally paid off. It was awesome. So, and Austin had a couple other classes, but it wasn't subject. It was more the teacher. Gotcha. How about on the positive side, right? Colstead and Freilich classes. Those classes were where it's at for sure. All right. So there you go. Those are a couple of the what we got here. How many attempts did it take? 4 attempts. But one other thing that we learned too, and if this is something you can find a YouTube video on exactly how to do it. The tips that I will give you if you're going to do this based on what Zayden learned. You want to have multiple bottles of the same liquid in there in the freezer at the same time. It takes anywhere from 2 to 3 hours, and you can, put it in there and check it at the 2-hour mark every 15 minutes. Okay. And to get real good at this, I would say put those multiple bottles in 15 minutes apart, right on the bottle, what time. So that way, and then once the first bottle starts to actually freeze and you can see the ice in there, take 15 minutes off of that. And that should be like the sweet spot of where how cold the water needs to get to be able to do this. So, Austin says we should tech him science next time you're out. Acetylene balloons. Oh, yeah. Oh, teach him science. Yeah. Yeah. That would be fun, wouldn't it? It was very interesting for sure. All right. Okay. So there you go. That's what I got for you. I'll see if I can find that video that we watched too that kind of gives you a little bit more explanation. Because it really is amazing. Not only being able to make instant ice out of pouring liquid out of a bottle onto an ice cube, but there's like where you can actually like make the water in a glass so cold and then take an ice cube and just dip it in there, and it makes the water in the glass freeze and it holds the ice cube up. It's nuts. So, all right. I hope you learned a lot. So that said, I'm going to wrap things up here, and I will chat with you here very soon. Tomorrow, we'll try to do this again. What do you say? Make it work? All right. We'll see you guys on the flip side. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Actually, I've got an interview I'm going to do with some Blossom Time Court. We're going to do that coming up here, probably 8:50 or so. All right. See you guys.